Good morning.
Welcome. Okay, so light task lights. They come from Richelieu. I did a little cut sheet, so that will go in your binder. Most important thing, you have to have an outlet. If you don't have an outlet, you don't have any electricity.
Yeah, if you cross, they won't go on.
ROI does not provide the electricity. So whenever you're doing a private office, please be cautious to look for the electricity. It's an LED task light. It has 2 switches. The 1 line means it's always on. The 2 line means it's a sensor, and it will go off after 15 minutes of not having motion. They're screwed to the undermount of an overhead, and you'll see my little diagram here. Overhead. You'll see the valance. The valance is meant to hide the task light, so it's a little recess below the cabinet that hides all the task lights. Then there's also a tack board. The tack board, if you flip it around, has these handy little notches
For the cord runs to.
all the way down the desk to the outlet below the desk.
So that.
Got it. Got it? Is there anything I missed with that? One great thing about these is, well, we screw them to our overheads, but they're also magnetic. So I've done this a couple times. I've used metal arc overheads, and then I've installed our task lights on them. Then they just stick right to it.
And on those metal ones, the installation cost goes down to half.
Notch in the back. I want to make sure I get all my. Task lights have just a 30-day warranty, so keep that in mind. They don't carry the ROI lifetime warranty. If somebody calls and asks you or says their light bulb's out, we don't honor that. There's no replacement light bulbs. They can buy a new task light, but they are LED, so they're meant to last a long time. The cost of our task lights are $90, and then there's a part number. It's a really long, complicated part number. But if you're just buying an individual task light in Global Shop, the ladies would like you to use this part number because then it deducts it from our inventory, and then we can kind of keep track of it. Am I missing anything?
Daisy chain.
Oh, the daisy chains, yes. Okay. Every task light comes with a 18-inch daisy chain. This one is included in the cost of the task light. So, say you had 2 overhead units, a 48 and a 48. Each overhead unit gets 1 task light. To connect the 2 task lights together, you put the daisy chain between them. And the valance is notched here as long as we know it ahead of time. If it has to be done in the field, you guys all know what a mess that is. But if they need more daisy chains, those have to be purchased.
And then the
So
power with, when you turn on the main light that it's connected to.
Okay, the first light that has got the power on, that goes to the outlet, that one has to be on in order to the rest to be functional. You cannot turn this off and have 1 or 2 other off, because when you turn this off, there's no power going through.
So the
Makes
main
sense.
light
So
always
the-
has to be on.
Right.
So if you had 4, the 4th one wouldn't work unless the main one was on.
Can you get longer than an 18-inch cord?
You can order them.
Would you have to order it separate? Got it.
Yep.
And keep in mind, this light changes all the time. Like, we might have this year, but 2 years from now, we might have a totally different test light. So we'll try to keep you updated on what the newest test light is and what it looks like.
So what do add-ons? Just don't worry about it.
What do you mean?
Like if somebody wants another private office and the task lights are different, just
I
tell
don't.
me, tell them.
It's never
You've
seemed to be a
upgraded.
problem in the past
Right.
where people have put in.
As long as light comes out, they're happy.
So, if somebody calls you and says, my bulb's out, what are you gonna say? What's the most important thing you need to turn on your task light? Power.
Man,
Thank you,
everybody's paying
everybody paid attention.
Damn.
I had a question about the metal arc. Does that come with a valance already in there?
The
So-
metal arcs ones you will see. That's a good question. But it is a good cost savings alternative using the metal overheads to the ROI ones. And they're wall mounted. And you can still put the task light or the tack board below them too. I think I covered it all.
Yep.
Last, we didn't want to give these away, our start. These are going to be the girls.